More than any in recent memory, this iPhone feels like an Android. 233 grams and 6.9 inches of burly, brutalist beefcake that after a week on the iPhone Air feels just comically massive. I mean, even the Fold 7 is lighter than this thing. And my review unit from Apple leans into that overload with 2 terabytes of onboard storage and an Apple Watch action button matching paint job, whose cosmic orange screams, "Notice me." If the base iPhone is the value sedan and the Air is the flashy sports car, then the Pro Max is the fully loaded pickup that puts function over form. And that's not always for the better. While I've used many Android phones larger than this, the Pro Max feels so monstrous that I've found it easier to drop, a fact reflected in the dings that now dot the casing. While I celebrate the return to aluminum that made stunning colors like this easier to achieve than with titanium, the anodization on that aluminum is brittle and susceptible to a type of damage called spalling. This is very well described by iFixit, by the way, whose reporting I will link in the description. That said, these scars came from multiple concrete parking lot drops. Sorry, Apple. And any phone would look at least this rough after that. So I think positioning this as some kind of scandal is kind of grasping at straws. In other hardware news, the bright anti-glare display came in handy in the Hawaiian sun during the world's least appropriate camera test. More on that in a second. If you remember my iPhone Air review, you'll already know the speakers on the Max are loud and deep. And the much ballyhooed vapor chamber keeps the Pro Max cooler, too. Not that I'm into mobile gaming enough to push that new processor to its limits, but with the amount of mobile hotspotting I do, sunny and still summery September, it's nice to have a phone that keeps its cool. Start with the good. For those of us accustomed to customization, there are more thematic and color possibilities than ever before. I love the lengthened lock screen clock with its smart obfuscation. Apple's Restore functionality is class-leading, and iOS's app selection also sets a high bar, with exclusives that I miss when I switch back to my Razr or Fold. I don't mean games. I'm talking about utilities like Flighty. I know I showed it off in the Air video, but I was actually able to use it in this review process on a layover in Hawaii, and it actually saved me a lot of time. It gave me gate information for my connection that my airline app and even the airport's overhead monitors didn't have. I'm also talking about Adobe Premiere, the market leader for video editing, coming to the iPhone. Even weirdos like BitChat came to iOS first. Couple that with the network effect of the iPhone, and you get an experience whose stickiness is infamous. For a change of pace, I actually used iMessage during this review, and while I continue to disagree with the way Apple implemented it by bonding your personal phone number to a proprietary messaging service that requires a particular handset, I have to say I see why people like it. It's feature-rich, it's available on all your Apple devices, and even its cutesy toys are pretty fun. Added complexity. When the dynamic island expands with contextual data, it sometimes displaces the network indicator, making me think I've lost my data connection. You can't always rely on the phone to keep doing something in the background, like sharing your location on Google Maps or Instagram. My Wi-Fi would often turn itself back on seconds after I disabled it, which was really annoying. You'll find more odd overlaps and conflicting shapes than usual, plus a dollop of liquid glass fuzziness. And I gotta repeat a point I made in my Air review. Skip ahead if you never talk to your phone, but dictation on the iPhone is... The details are done much better where it really counts on a phone like this. The triple cameras. Moving all sensors to 48 megapixels and switching out the older 5x telephoto for a 4x turns out to be a pretty good idea. Similar to Samsung pulling its 10x telephoto back to a 5x a couple years back. But you know what? I don't need to geek out about the imaging specs. I just care that it gets the shots I need in environments where the difference between nailing it and not is measured in seconds.